No, I'm rage baiting you. Listen,
I have 4 children, a set of twins. I would never, ever do that to my children.
And
would you have your girlfriend do that to your child?
Well, ultimately, I think it's a choice.
Or do you have a girlfriend?
I do.
Oh, you
ultimately,
do?
I think that it's a choice of the woman. So if you want to tell me that you never get an abortion,
no,
all the power to you. I love that for you because that's your choice, and I think that's great. But listen, I don't think that abortion is murder because I don't think that there's any trait that we could identify to be true of a fetus in which we fundamentally would value enough to grant the right to life. The last person on the mic said, well, fundamentally, all humans have the same right to life. And that's something that we hear from a lot of pro-lifers. As I was attempting to communicate to her, everybody rejects that view in one way or another. So I want to hear your argument insofar as why it's morally wrong for a woman to get an abortion outside of its gross. Because grotesqueness doesn't arbitrate morality. Like, taking a shit's pretty gross. Shit smells like shit, right? Okay. But we're not going to say it's morally wrong to take a shit, even though it's gross. So what's the argument that abortion is wrong?
Let me just ask you this. Everyone's really, really focused on, it should be the right for every woman. Why don't you think about it the other way and think about why don't you prevent all these women who don't want to have babies? Why aren't you guys helping them prevent pregnancies?
We do. I agree we should.
Yes, we
100%.
should.
We need access to comprehensive sex ed in schools. We need free and fair access to
in schools?
Yeah, of course.
At what age?
Is at an age-appropriate level, I would say starting in late middle school. Because, I was in middle school, you were in middle school, we were all in middle school. The second thing that I think is also important here would be free and fair access to contraceptives. And we should also try to find ways to limit financial instability in young women and young men, because the leading cause of women accessing abortion is financial instability. But you still haven't answered the question, and you've been up here for a while.
Okay.
I want to hear why you think that abortion is wrong. I think that you're struggling to come up with an argument.
Because it is murder.
And the definition of murder would be the unjust termination of a human life. Explain why you think it's unjust.
First of all, a woman who has a pregnancy, a baby in there, they have the right to life too.
What grants the fetus the right to life?
What grants it just that it's been conceived.
Or the fact that it's a human?
It is a human.
Okay, so brain dead patients have the right to life too?
So what, brain dead?
Yeah, they're human.
You know what? I've heard of brain dead humans coming out of comas.
Then they're not brain dead. The definition of brain death is irreversible cessation of all cognitive function. Do humans who are biologically alive because of machines with irreversible cessation of all cognitive function have the right to life?
I haven't really researched that, so if there was no hope, possibly.
Okay.
They should. I mean, that's not my decision to make. That's a family member's.
Okay. So you think it should be up to the choice of the family to kill a human?
You know what?
No, that doesn't have the right to life.
Doesn't mean.
So you don't think that all humans have the right to life? So what is a fetus?
But if they're brain dead, are they really alive?
Yes, biologically they are.
You know what? That's a determination that I would have to take with a medical doctor.
Let's say the same thing about women for abortion. Then.
No, I don't believe that a woman has that even right. That a woman should be able to get an abortion here in California.
Yeah.
No,
okay,
I don't.
We have to pause there. You've been voted out.
Thanks for your time, Tish.
Okay, if you want to be the next debater, please get to the center chair in 3, 2, 1.
Hi, Dean. I'm Enya.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So I couldn't hear a lot of what you were kind of saying a while ago, but what were you saying was brain dead people about if they should be unplugged?
Well, I brought up a brain dead patient as a counterexample to the claim that, well, the reason why it's immoral, the reason why it's murder to kill a fetus is because the fetus is a member of the human species.
Yes.
So brain dead patients on a biological level.
And they should not be unplugged. And I think actually any argument that anyone makes for a brain dead patient to be unplugged is actually coming from the doctors who want to harvest organs and to promote the organ donation industry culture. And I think that any kind of promotion that even manipulates families into unplugging their brain dead relatives is also immoral.
Yeah, I think we agree. We agree on that.
And so
organ harvesting aside, if a family wants to unplug a brain dead family member because it's the end of the road,
that is immoral.
That would be murder?
Yeah. But I think the doctor, it would be murder from the doctor in the same way that...
So you truly think it's murder to kill any member of the human species? What about a zygote?
That is also murder.
So if I kill a unicellular organism, I'm a murderer? Do you think that all murderers should go to jail?
Human zygotes. It's about humans.
So do you think that all murderers should go to jail?
All murderers should be put into trial and tried.
But if they're truly murderers, like that's an uncontestable fact.
Then yeah, they should be put to death.
They should be put to death?
I do believe in the death penalty.
Wow. Okay, so here's the thing. Do you know what an IUD is?
Yeah.
So an IUD, an intrauterine device, in some circumstances,
know where you're gonna go
well,
with this.
allow for conception to occur,
Yeah.
but then it will implant, then it will prevent the implantation of the now conceived
The
zygote.
purpose of the IUD
Can you
is
please
to
allow me to
prevent
finish?
implantation. If it leads to death,
Yeah.
then it's not then it didn't fulfill its purpose. It went beyond that.
That's a secondary purpose. So the main purpose of an IUD would be to prevent conception, but when that fails, the secondary purpose is to then prevent its implantation. So if a woman knows that sometimes IUDs will allow for conception to occur, then they kill that conceived zygote, and they still yet choose to be sexually active, then inevitably they conceive a zygote and it dies
I
because
think
the IUD,
that when people
under
have
your view, they're a
IUDs
murderer.
implanted, it is not for anything beyond just the prevention. It is not done for the murder of any kind of implanted
Well,
zygotes.
because it's a secondary purpose and function of the IUD, if a woman knows that, then she's agreeing to the culpability of possibly having her actions yield the death of another person. Okay? And under your view, and hopefully mine, that would be murder given that the person that she's killing through her actions by secondary
But
order
that was not
is
the
valuable.
primary purpose of the IUD.
Well, if I buy a gun with the primary purpose of going hunting, but then one day I get really mad and I use it to kill my neighbor, okay, I'm still a murderer.
No,
if I
the
buy my
primary
car
purpose of
for
the
the
gun
primary
is
purpose
to
of-
shoot. Your primary
better
purpose
example
is
is a car.
hunting. Your secondary purpose by that
A better example
by
is a
that
car.
argument was
if,
to shoot that
if
person.
I buy a car to get from point A to point B, but then one day I get drunk and I use it to like wipe out a family of 5, am I a murderer?
Yes.
Even though that wasn't the primary function of the car?
Yes,
Okay,
because
so
you
then even
use
though
that
killing a
car
zygote's
in
not
the
the
same way you
primary
use the
function
gun
of an
as a
IUD,
weapon. You use that
when it
car
does
as a
kill a
weapon.
zygote, under your view, it's murder.
But even though the primary purpose of the car is for driving, you used it for something beyond that. Its secondary purpose